Hello once more, listeners. What I have for you today is an explanation of what the city controller is, who he is, and an example of what he has done. The charter establishes the controller as an elected official and gives the controller the responsibility in serving as the auditor and chief accounting officer of the city. The controller is required to exercise a general supervision over all the accounts for all officers and departments of the city, including all the independent departments, including but not limited to airports, water, power, and harbor. All city payments must be approved by the city controller. He also prepares the official financial reports for the city, alongside being responsible for financial and performance audits of all city departments and programs. The current city controller is Kenneth Mejia, and his mission statement is to end corruption that defined City Hall. In his own words, our entire campaign is about challenging the status quo. He said, we need something new. Considering the fact that the money/budget of the city, the controller of the city controller is ordained by the mayor and the city council, this will be a very uphill battle. Now, let's get into what he has done. For morals and actionable words are great, but doing is better. No, the events that I will be discussing took place in 2023, and this likely isn't quite the proper reflection of what everything looks like right. I will preface this with what I hope is an uncontroversial opinion. Animals intended to be our pets deserve kindness, especially in animal shelters. Kenneth seems to agree, as in his first transparency report as city controller was about the Department of Animal Services. In this, he went over the many problems that the DAS, yes, I'm abbreviating to that, has currently, or at the time, from the horrid conditions such as genuinely not having enough food to feed all of their animals, the immense overpopulation of their animals' shelters forcing them to have to put down some of the animals, and the concerning lack of employees, making many of their problems significantly worse. He found that this all stemmed from one thing: an immense lack of funding. In this report, he proposed a proposal, which upon my own personal research was partially exempted, as his proposal was for 42 million. Whereas the DAS actually received 31 million in total due to Mayor Bass, still being an 18% increase to their earlier budget, and as far as I can tell, it did help. However, it could have been so much better. Now, there are many more audits I could go over and deep into. However, that would take much more time and far more patience than I possess. So I implore you to find this information yourself and to draw your own conclusions from what you find. There should be a link in the description to get said audits. And, however, this, you will note, is all from one source. So when you start looking into these audits, I heavily suggest also looking out into, say, the internet, searching up like articles and some such news, etc., about how well this audit actually worked, what it improved, what it could have done better on, to form a fully fledged opinion on the city controller and how well he has done in his express goals. A final note that I should have tacked on earlier, but through my readings of his work, I have likely become somewhat biased towards Kenneth Mejia, and this bias has more than likely tinged the way I spoke of him. Ergo, Ergo, I do implore you to do research on him and what he's done on your own, to find a more neutral view of him. Or more accurate? I hope you have a good day, evening, or night, my listeners, and I hope you have learned something useful today. Now, I wish you have a restful sleep, whenever that happens.